In this video, I'm going to walk you through Word Module 11, end of module project 1. The first thing you need to do is download the start file, and you're going to change the end of the file name from a 1 to a 2. Now, before you do that, let's do something first. So here's my start file. Should look just like yours. You're going to get a yellow bar that comes across under the ribbon. Make sure you enable editing. And then you should have a second bar that comes across the top that says enable content. We're going to go ahead and enable content. Now, you should be able from here, I'm going to say file save as, I'm going to save this in my downloads. I'm going to change the file extension from a 1 to a 2. It says I already have it. That's because I've done this already 3 times already. And then you're going to have it saved. So make sure your file extension ends in a 2. Now, back to the instructions. So it talks about macros. We have to make sure macros are enabled. Macros are just something that people have too much time on their hands, like to put viruses in. And then when you open files in Microsoft, it spreads them around. And so that's why we have so much protection against macros. But we can learn how to use them. So we've turned on the macros with the yellow bars. If you did not get the yellow bars, this is the step you would use right here if you did not get a yellow bar across the top when you opened your file and then saved it. Okay, so now we're down here. You have 2 support files. You do not need to have those open. And then this one just says you're going to make sure your name displays in the footer. If your name does not display in the footer of your document, make sure you save it. Actually, don't even save it. You're going to close out of it, delete it from your computer entirely or your flash drive. Then you're going to download it again and restart it and make sure it has your name in the footer. Otherwise, the Cengage grader is going to have a heart attack and it's going to have a hard time reading your file, and you're going to miss a bunch of things for no reason. So make sure your name shows in the footer. All right, so we are to step 1, and you're going to love this project because it's nice and short and sweet. So we are a financial planning assistant for Pinnacle, and we're developing a survey to send to clients so they can specify their preferences for being contacted by a financial advisor. Now, outside of this project, this is a great way to learn a lot of the developer tools. If you in real life are going to do a survey, I recommend you probably want to do it in Canva or SurveyMonkey or something like that, because while the features in this project are wonderful, and you'll find you'll put together forms and use a lot of these features, the likely that you'll email them to somebody is not, I wouldn't say, it's not likely to happen because there's so many new apps and tools out there that make it so much easier. But there are a lot of cool things in this module. So we're creating an online form so we can exchange a survey with clients via email. So we enable the macros if prompted, so that one's good. And there's these steps. If you have any issues with the macros, it says follow these steps. But if you got the yellow bars that came across the top, you should be good to go. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is convert the table containing the first name and last name content controls to text. So we're going to come to our file. Here's our form. I'm just going to make this a little bit bigger so you can see. And we are going to take these 2 cells right here, or this row, and we are going to convert this to text. We don't want it in a table. So we're going to go to the Layout tab. And from there, we are going to go to the right in the data gallery, and we are going to convert to text. And we are going to convert to text based on paragraph marks. And so we have currently selected tabs. We're going to choose paragraph marks instead. So if we were to turn on the paragraph marks from the home tab, you'd see all the different characters hiding behind here of all the spacing. And what's separating these 2 is a paragraph. And so we are going to turn paragraph marks on, and then we're going to say okay. And then it's going to drop these 2 items out of the table and into text. Okay, so that is the first part of this. Then we are going to change the left indent of the first name paragraph to 0.08 inches. Don't do 0.8 inches. we want 0.08. And why do I say that? Because I do this project every semester to keep myself fresh. And I've at least 6 or 7 times typed in the wrong thing. So be better than me. Make sure you type 0.08 and not 0.8. And to do that, we are going to put our cursor in front of, let me get my form back up, wrong one. We're going to put it in front of the first name. And then we are going to right click. And then we're going to go to paragraph. And then the indentation is going to be for the left right here, 0.08. Then we're going to go ahead and say okay. And it should have shifted this over to the right to line this up with the last name. Okay, you're doing great. So that's the end of step 1. Step 2, it wants us to import the form head style from the template, the support file that was provided, and apply the form head style to client contact survey. The first thing we're going to do is import the form head style. So back to our document, we're going to come up here to our styles, and we're going to click this expand button, and we're going to get this styles box that's going to come up. We want to manage styles. So we're going to click the A check mark, and we're going to bring up the manage styles window, and then we're going to come down to the bottom and we're going to import. So now we have 2 sections of this organizer. On the left is this document, and on the right is where we can bring things in from another document. So what we're going to do is we're going to come into the right side where it says normal dot, and we're going to close this file and clear everything out from the right. On the left, we don't touch anything. This is our current file that we're working in. On the right, we're going to open the file, go to our downloads, find that support file called forms. It's this one. We're going to open it. Okay, so now this is all the formatting and everything templates that are in this particular form template, and we are going to move over form head, I believe. Let me make sure I'm correct. So form head style. So on the right, we're going to click form head, and then we're going to copy this to the left into this document. So we're taking one style from one document, moving it into our current document. So now we should see form head on the left, and then we're going to go ahead and go to the bottom right, and we're going to close. Hold on, let me check one more thing. Make sure there's nothing else. Okay, we're good. Once we're done here, we're just going to close that out. And now you see that you've got form head up here is a style. And we are going to apply that style to the client contact survey paragraph. So right here, client contact survey, we're going to highlight all of that text. Then we're going to come up to the ribbon for styles, and we're going to click on the form head that we imported in, and it's going to turn it brown, and it's going to center that on the center of this form. Great job. High five. Okay, that's step 2. Now we're on to step 3. Create a character style for checkbox labels by using box label as the name of the new style. So we're going to create a new style, call it box label, and it's a character style. So let's go back to our document. It's right here. With this styles pane still open, if you don't have it open, still come back up here to this arrow, expand that again, bring this up. This time we're going to come click the A+ on the left side bottom corner to add a new style. So we're going to add a new style. The style name is going to be box label. So we're going to type in box, L-A-B-E-L, not L-A-B-L-E, right? Yep, L-A-B-E-L. And the style is going to be character style. And it says we're going to use the default paragraph font, which we do. We've got that. So default paragraph font. Then we're going to come down here in the formatting section. We're going to click on automatic. So this is our color. And then we want to change this to brown accent 6. And it tells you where that's at. So click this. And then brown accent 6 is first row all the way to the right. Click on brown accent 6. Then we're going to say okay. And so now you're going to see box labels been added to styles, but we haven't applied it anywhere yet. And so this is the first part. Okay, so that's everything from step 3. Now we're going to apply the box label character style to the 5 checkbox labels: email, in-person, phone, text message, and other. So back here, we're going to apply it to each one of these. Now you could select one, apply the style, select the next one, or you could select one, hold your control key, select the next one, control key, select the next one, and then select the next one by holding your control key down at the same time. Then we come up to box label, turn that on, and then we can do them all at the same time. But if you prefer one at a time, that's fine too. Okay, so that is step 4. In step 5, we're going to insert a date field to the right of the text last updated to use a similar format of January 14th, 2021. So this is the date they probably made the assignment. So we're looking for the date. It's probably going to pop up with whatever date you have on your computer the day you're working on this. But we want it to be the month, the date, comma, and then the full year. And so let's go back to our form. We're going to choose go to last updated. We're going to go to the right, as far right as we can to that colon. Okay. I'm going to hit the space bar because we need a space between that text and the date. And then we are going to go ahead and insert the date and time is what we're going to do. So click on the date and time. It's going to open a box, and we are looking for the one that is the full month, the date, and the full year. For me, it's December 18th, 2025. For you, it's going to be whatever date you're working on this. But the key is we want the full month, the date, and the year. And then we're going to say, make sure this update automatically is on, because every time you change this form, you want it to tell you this is the last time somebody updated it. And then we're going to say, okay, now, if the grader comes back and says, you missed it, let me know, because this happened to half the students every semester where they insert the date. It comes back and says, sorry, your date's not there, but it's obviously there. This is just one of the quirky things with the grader, with the updates and changes Microsoft has made. There's some things that don't always pick up. So don't panic. If the grader doesn't catch that, send me an email. Now, this happened to me. I deleted it and inserted it again, and then the next time the grader caught it. But don't be afraid to reach out to me to get that overrode. Okay, so we have that. Step 5 is done. And then we have step 6. So we're going to change the rectangle outlining the form to a rectangle single corner rounded to match the shape of the other forms. So we're going to come back here. This is a shape around it. We're going to click on that. We're going to go up to shape format. We're going to go on the left to edit shape, and then we're going to change the shape, and then we're going to do the rectangle single corner rounded. I just have to find, there we are. It's the third to the last in that row. So rectangle single corner rounded. It's going to round the corner on the top right hand side. Okay. Let's do this. Okay, so that's the first part of step 6. Then we're going to fill the shape with a picture from this pyramid support file. So we're going to come back here, click on the shape so you have the dots all the way around. Then we're going to go to shape fill in the shape styles gallery. We're going to go down to picture. Then we're going to insert a picture from a file. It's going to think. I'm going to go to my downloads, and then I'm looking for the pyramid. And then we're going to insert that pyramid, and you should have something that looks like this. Now, it makes it really hard to read, but we're not quite done yet. So we've got this part done. Then we're going to apply the tan background color too light to the picture to make it easier to read. Okay, so back to our form. With this selected, make sure you have your dots all the way around. We are going to come up to the ribbon to Picture Format tab. On the left in the adjust gallery, we're going to go to color, and then we're going to go down to the one that's tan background color to light. Let me make sure I read that right. Brown, or no, tan background color to light. Good. So that is this one down here in the recolor group or gallery. It's the third row, and it's the first one in the third row. So tan background color to light. We're going to apply that. Make that a little bit lighter, make our form easier to read. All right, doing good. Keep up the great work. Okay, so we're down to step 7. In the text box containing the pinnacle, the word pinnacle or text pinnacle, we're going to change the direction of the text to rotate all text to 270 degrees. So let's go back here. This is the text box they're referring to. Just click on it once so you get the dots that come all the way around. If you want, go ahead and close the style gallery window that's hanging out over there if you still have that open. Okay, so we're going to go to shape format. And then on the right, we're going to rotate this. And we're going to do more rotation options. And we are going to, let me find my thing. We're going to rotate all text 270 degrees. So we're going to rotate down here in the rotation 270 degrees. And when you're done, we're going to click OK. Ah, it's funny. It didn't do anything. Huh. Let's just check it again. Okay, the rotation is in 270 degrees. Okay, we're going to find out what happens next. This is different every time I do this. Okay, so we rotated 270 degrees. Oh, you know what I did? I did it wrong. I did not mean to do that in the arrange group. Actually, I needed to be doing that somewhere else. So that should be over here in the text direction. Sometimes it's just a matter of reading the instructions right. So change the direction of the text. I changed something else. So I'm going to fix what I did wrong. So I'm going to change this rotation. I'm going to take that out of there. For the layout, I'm going to say, okay, we are going to come over here to the text gallery, and we're going to change the text direction to rotate all text 270 degrees. That looks better. So this is where we want to go. Text direction 270 degrees. Do not rotate over here on the right side in the arrange gallery. Okay, so we've got that rotated 270 degrees. Now we're going to resize the box to a height of 0.9 and a width of 0.5. So we're going to go over here, and the height is going to be 0.9 and the width is going to be 0.5. Just like that. So now we should have pinnacle turned like that. And then the next step is to apply the isometric bottom down 3D rotation shape effect. That is a mouthful. Okay, so we're going to go over here to shape effects, and then we're going to go to 3D rotation. You kind of have to pick the instructions apart, and then you have to go to, oh boy, what was it? Isometric. I have to think about this because I can't leave on my instructions. Isometric, okay, bottom down, okay. 3D, so bottom down. I think it's going to be in the parallel. Nope. Isometric. This one? Nope, that's not it. Isometric. There we go. It's the fourth one in the first row. Isometric bottom down, which is not what I pictured in my head, but that's okay. We're going to apply that. Now we've got pinnacle hanging out here in a really strange direction. And that is where that stops in step 7. Okay, now we're going to move that text box to an absolute position of horizontal position of 0.7. So, and a vertical position of 0.7 on the page. So we're going to go back here with this selected. We are going to click on the expansion arrow for the size gallery. And then we're going to click on the position tab. And in there, we want the position to be absolute horizontal right here. Absolute horizontal is going to be 0.7 to the right of the margin. So 0.7 to the right of the margin. And then we're going to do absolute vertical of 0.7 to below the page. Okay. So absolute position horizontal is to the right of the margin. Vertical absolute position 0.7 to the below the page. And then we're going to say okay. Now it's flipped it all the way over here and it still doesn't look right. But we're going to keep going anyway. And we're going to group the pyramid and the text box so they can remain together when moved. So to group them, you're going to have one selected. You're going to have your selection dots all the way around. You're going to hold your control key. We're going to click on the pyramid. So you're going to select both of them. We're going to come over here to the group gallery in the arrange gallery or the group selection. We're going to group those together. And then we have that. Now, Pinnacle is not supposed to look like that. It is supposed to be rotated. So as per our instructions, rotated like this. And so let's back up and let's just double check if I overlooked something. So rectangle, scenic. Okay, that's good. Not there. Okay, text box containing Pinnacle. Change the direction of the text to rotate all text 270, which I'm sure I did that. Okay, so text direction, rotate all text 270. Okay, then we have resize the text box to a height of 9.9 and width of 0.5. So height of 0.9, width of 0.5, that's good. And then we apply isometric bottom down, which we applied that. And then we moved it to a 0.7. So I feel like I messed something up when we started and I ended up rotating it over here versus doing the text direction. And so this should not be like that. I don't know why it's doing that. So what you could do is we could start all over, or if you made a mistake because I led you astray, you can just email me and I'll override your grade. So I can't figure out why that's not rotating correctly other than I did it wrong the first time, but we had fixed that. So I don't know what's happening, but the Pinnacle should look like this, but ours is turned wonky a little bit. And so don't stress about it. Let's just double check the instructions one more time. Move in the text box, Pinnacle, change the direction of the text to rotate all 270. Let's just play with it a little bit. So what I'm going to do is ungroup it first. Ungroup. And then I'm going to, let's see, what should I try to fix that? I love just troubleshooting stuff. It's kind of fun. Let's go to here. Let's just make sure all this is correct. So, oh, here's that layout rotation again. Let me drop that rotation to 0. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it got stuck in there. Because remember when we started and I led you in the wrong direction, this had a 0 or nothing in it. And so let's try this. If I take this all out, let's do that. Ah, there we go. That was it. So when I led you astray at the beginning and that 270 got stuck, that's how we fix that. So now last thing I have to do is just regroup those two images together and we should be good to go. There we go. This is what it should look like. And again, if you have any errors with that grader and you know it looks correct and everything came across right, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. With all the updates Microsoft and Windows 11 and all the other apps are doing, the Cengage grader does get stuck. So, okay, that's all I have.